Bluey, 2018 TV series. Bluey is an Australian animated television series for preschoolers that premiered on ABC Kids on October 1, 2018. The program was created by Joe Broom with Queensland production group Ludo Studio. It was co-commissioned by the Australian Broadcasting Corporation and the British Broadcasting Corporation, with BBC Studios holding global distribution and merchandising rights. The series made its premiere on Disney Junior in the United States and was released internationally on Disney+. The show follows Bluey, an anthropomorphic 6-year-old blue heeler puppy who is characterized by her abundance of energy, imagination and curiosity of the world. The young dog lives with her father, Bandit, mother, Chili, and younger sister, Bingo, who regularly joins Bluey on adventures as the pair embark on imaginative play together. Other characters featured each represent a different dog breed. Overarching themes include the focus on family, growing up in Australian culture. The program was created and produced in Queensland. Its capital city Brisbane inspires the show's setting. Bluey has received consistently high viewership in Australia on both broadcast television and video on demand services. It has influenced the development of merchandise and a stage show featuring its characters. The program won a Logie Award for Most Outstanding Children's Program in 2019 as well as an International Emmy Kids Award. It has been praised by television critics for depicting a modern everyday family life, constructive parenting messages and the role of Bandit as a positive father figure. Minor shortcomings in regards to inclusive language have been criticized. Bluey was renewed for a third series in October 2020. Characters. The child characters of Bluey are voiced by children of the program's production crew and are not credited as voice performers. Main. Bluey Heeler, a 6-year-old, later 7-year-old, blue heeler puppy. She is curious and energetic. Bingo Heeler, Bluey's 4-year-old, later 5-year-old, younger sister, a red heeler puppy. Bandit Heeler, Dad, voiced by David McCormack, the blue heeler father of Bluey and Bingo who is an archaeologist. Chili Heeler, Mum, voiced by Melanie Zanetti, the red heeler mother of Bluey and Bingo who works part-time in airport security. Recurring. Muffin Heeler, Bluey and Bingo's 3-year-old blue heeler cousin. Socks Heeler, Bluey and Bingo's 1-year-old cousin and Muffin sister, who is still learning to walk on 2 legs and talk. Chloe, a kind and gentle Dalmatian who is Bluey's best friend. Lucky, an energetic golden Labrador who is Bluey's next-door neighbor. He loves sports and playing with his father. Honey, a thoughtful beagle who is Bluey's friend. She is sometimes shy and requires encouragement to fully participate. Mackenzie, an adventurous border collie who is Bluey's friend from school, and originally from New Zealand. Coco, a pink poodle who is Bluey's friend. She is sometimes impatient when playing games. Snickers, a dachshund who is Bluey's friend. He has an interest in science. Jack, a lively Jack Russell Terrier with attention deficit issues. Rusty, a red Kelpie from the bush, whose father is in the army. Indy, an imaginative and free-spoken Afghan hound. The Terriers, triplet miniature Schnauzer brothers. Uncle Stripe Heeler, voiced by Dan Broom, Bandit's younger brother and the father of Muffin and Socks. Aunt Trixie Heeler, voiced by Miff Warhurst, Uncle Stripe's wife and the mother of Muffin and Socks. Warhurst also voices Indy's mom, an Afghan hound who sells organic baked goods at the market. Mrs. Retriever, voiced by Ann Kerr, a golden retriever and Bingo's kindergarten teacher. Calypso, voiced by Megan Washington, a Blue Merle Australian Shepherd and Bluey's school teacher. Pat, Lucky's dad, voiced by Brad Elliott, a Labrador retriever and Lucky's father, who lives next door to the Heelers, and often involves himself in their gameplay. Chris Heeler, Nana, voiced by Chris Broom, Bandit and Stripe's mother, and grandmother to their children. Bob Heeler, voiced by Ian McFadden, Bandit and Stripe's father, and grandfather to their children. Sam Simmons voices the younger version of Bob. Uncle Rad Heeler, voiced by Patrick Bramall, Bandit and Stripe's brother, a cross between a red and blue heeler, who works away on an oil rig. Frisky, voiced by Claudia O'Doherty, Bluey's godmother, who develops a relationship with Uncle Rad. Mort, Granddad, voiced by Laurie Newman, Chili's father, and Bluey and Bingo's grandfather, who served in the army when he was younger. Wendy, voiced by Beth Dirac, Series 1-2, Emily Tahini, Series 3, a Japanese Spitz and Judo's mother, who lives next door to the healers, and is often disrupted by or inadvertently involved with their gameplay. Notable guests: Surfer, voiced by Lane Beachley, a Shetland sheepdog with a passion for surfing. Posty, voiced by Anthony Field, a Catahoula leopard dog who works as a post office employee. O. Field also voices Rusty's dad, a red Kelpie who is in the army. Jack's mom and dad, voiced by Zoe Foster Blake and Hamish Blake, a pair of Jack Russell Terriers. Alfie, voiced by Robert Irwin, a customer service assistant who works at the toy store. Bella, Coco's mom, voiced by Lee Sales, a pink poodle and Coco's mother, who is friends with Chili. Development. Conception. In July 2017, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, and the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, co-commissioned Bluey as an animated series for preschool children to be developed by Queensland production company Ludo Studio. The production received funding from Screen Australia and Screen Queensland, with the setting of the series drawing upon the unique semi-tropical Queensland climate. Created by Joe Broom, the series was inspired by his experience in raising two daughters. Broom wanted to portray the importance of children participating in imaginative play, creating the title character Bluey as a cattle dog to give the series an Australian voice. Broom had previously worked on children's programs in the United Kingdom as a freelance animator and decided to create Bluey as a replica of the program Peppa Pig for an Australian audience. He conceived the idea independently in 2016, and produced a 1-minute pilot through his company Studio Joho, with a small team in their spare time. Broom approached Ludo Studio to develop the series. Co-founders Charlie Aspinwall and Daley Pearson pitched the pilot at conferences such as MIPCOM in France. Broom stated that the first pilot contained some dangerous character behaviors which drew the attention of studio executives. Note 1, Pearson expressed that it was difficult to pitch the series as it was not high concept, but rather just a show about family and games. The studio developed a 5-minute animation sample that was pitched at the Asian Animation Summit in Brisbane in 2016, and was thereby noticed by ABC and BBC executives. Michael Carrington of the ABC viewed the presentation and secured $20,000 of funding for the studio to produce a refined, 7-minute pilot. The new pilot was presented at the Asian Animation Summit in 2017. The two networks officially ordered 52 7-minute episodes of Bluey, with the BBC investing 30% of the funding and acquiring the global rights for distribution and merchandising. The series was produced entirely in Australia by a local team, many of whom were first-time animators from Brisbane. The program was announced to premiere in Australia on ABC Kids, followed by CBeebies. Production. Writing. The stories featured in Bluey depict Bluey and Bingo engaging in imaginative play. Broom wanted to show that self-directed and unstructured play is natural in shaping children and allowing them to develop. He consulted research based on socio-dramatic play, reading the works of Sarah Smilinski and Vivian Paley, who both had backgrounds in early childhood education. The episodes show the parents as guides for their children, who allow them to explore their immediate surroundings independently, giving them opportunities to practice adult roles. Broom drew inspiration for scripts from his own experiences in watching his daughters play, which he described was as natural to them as breathing. The program's scripts show how children can use gameplay to learn lessons and integrate the world of adults into their own. Broom noticed how his children would recreate interactions such as visits to the doctor, through roleplay. Pearson stated that gameplay represents children's first experiences of collaboration, cooperation, responsibility and emotions such as jealousy. Broom discovered the importance of play-based learning after his daughter struggled with formal education, which led him to exclude elements of literacy and numeracy in Bluey and focus on the depiction of life skills. Broom stated that he wanted the series to depict his experience as a parent rather than aim for children to be explicitly taught something. His creative aims were to make children laugh, and show parents what children can learn while engaged in play. The characters of Bluey each represent a particular dog breed, some of which are drawn from Broom's personal life. Broom had a blue heeler named Bluey throughout his childhood, in addition to a Dalmatian named Chloe. Bandit is based on a blue heeler belonging to his father's friend. Bandit's career as an archaeologist was inspired by Broom's older sibling Adam. Broom writes the majority of episode scripts, with Aspinwall labeling the series as an observational show, depicting Broom's family life, and producer Sam Moore describing it as Broom's life on screen. Note 2. Broom's process for writing sometimes begins with making notes about his family's experiences, including games his children play and the conflict that arises between them. For this reason, Broom has described the process as a challenge for other writers on the series. Moore stated that there are few writers besides Broom, mostly animators already working on the series. The program was designed to be a co-viewing experience for parents and their children who enjoy together. Broom described the process of writing each episode as a chance to make a short film. The conflict and humor in the episode stems from Bandit's relationship with his daughters. Bluey has been described as rough and tumble by Pearson, with both her and Bingo being seen to subvert the stereotypes of female characters, but rather have the characteristics of real puppies. This has led to uninformed viewers questioning if the characters are boys or girls. Pearson has credited the decision of Bluey and Bingo being girls to resemble the real families of Broom, Aspinwall and McCormack. In relation to the humor of the series, Broom has stated there is a lot of physical activity and craziness. Storyboarding and animation. Bluey is animated in-house at Ludo Studio in Brisbane, in Fortitude Valley, where approximately 50 people work on the program. Costa Kassab serves as one of the art directors of the series, who has been credited with drawing the locations of the series, which are based on real places in Brisbane, including parks and shopping centers. Note 3. Broom determines the specific locations which are to be included. Post-production of the series takes place externally in South Brisbane. Approximately 15 episodes of the series are developed by the studio at any one time across a range of production stages. After story ideas are conceived, the script writing process takes place for up to 2 months. The episodes are then storyboarded by artists, who produce 500 to 800 drawings over 3 weeks while consulting the writer's script. Note 4. After the storyboard is finished, a black and white animatic is produced, to which the dialogue recorded independently by voice artists is added. The episodes are then worked on for 4 weeks by animators, background artists, designers, and layout teams. The entire production team views a near-completed episode of Bluey on a Friday. Pearson stated that over time, the viewings developed into test screenings, with members of production bring their family, friends and children to watch the episode. The complete production process for an episode takes 3 months. During the lockdown period of the 2019-20 COVID-19 pandemic, the production staff of 50 were required to work on the episodes remotely from home. A skeleton crew of 3 remained working on the series at the studio. After restrictions eased in May, this number increased to 10 and later 20. Casting. The series features David McCormack, from the band Custard, as the voice of Bluey's father, Bandit. He was initially approached to read what he assumed would only be a couple of lines, but ended up voicing Bandit for the entire pilot. McCormack performs his voice work for the series remotely in Sydney, which is then sent to the production company in Brisbane. He stated that he does not hear any other voice actors or view footage while recording, and that he doesn't alter his own voice to produce Bandit's dialogue. Melanie Zanetti provides the voice of Bluey's mother, Chili. She became interested in the series after reading the script for the pilot. Note 5. Broom's mother, Chris Broom, voices Nana Healer, while his younger brother, Dan Broom, voices Uncle Stripe, as well as working as a sound designer on the series. The child characters of the series, including Bluey and Bingo, are voiced by some of the children of the program's production crew. Music. Geoff Bush serves as one of the primary composers of Bluey, writing half of the soundtrack himself and leading a group of additional composers, including David Barber. Bush graduated from the Queensland Conservatorium, where he met Pearson, and before Bluey worked on series such as The Family Law and Australian Survivor. Bush has stated that each episode has its own unique musical style, and he likes to become involved in the episodes as they are scripted. Live instruments are regularly played for the recordings. Every episode of Bluey is individually scored, a decision made by Broom, who was inspired by the original compositions for Charlie and Lola while working on the series in the United Kingdom. Classical music is regularly used throughout the underscore, with pieces such as Beethoven's Ode to Joy and Mozart's Rondo alla Turca, from Sonata No. 11, being interpreted by composers. Bush composed the theme song for Bluey has been nominated for 3 IPRA Screen Music Awards, in 2019 for the soundtrack of the episode Teasing, in 2020 for Flat Pack as well as for the show score in 2021. The music for Bluey is licensed by Universal Music Publishing on behalf of BBC Worldwide Music Publishing. The first soundtrack for the series, Bluey, the album, was released on January 22, 2021. It debuted at number 1 on the ARIA Albums chart, and became the first children's album to reach the top of the charts in Australia. It won Best Children's Album at the 2021 ARIA Music Awards, and has also been nominated for an additional APRA Screen Music Award. Themes. A central theme of the series is the influence of a supportive family. This is reflected in the relationships between Bluey, Bingo, Bandit, and Chili. The Healer family are presented as a nuclear family. Broom was eager to reflect contemporary parenting practices, with both adults shown to be working parents, Bandit as an archaeologist and Chili working part-time in airport security. Bethany Hyde of the West Australian explains that the series depicts the realities of modern-day fatherhood, with Bandit seen regularly doing housework and engaging in imaginative play with his children. Chili's role as a mother is explored as she balances both work and family life. Both parents are shown to acknowledge and validate the emotions of their children, such as Bluey's distress after the death of a bird. Bluey and Bingo are shown to navigate their sibling relationship throughout the episodes, learning how to work together, compromise, and resolve conflicts. Episodes detail the family's contemporary domestic lifestyle, with Philippa Chandler of The Guardian describing the series as social realism. The series also explores Australian culture and is set in semi-tropical Queensland. The animation of Australian architecture in the series is designed to reflect the typical Queenslander residential designs of Brisbane, high-set suburban dwellings with characteristic verandas, against representations of Brisbane skylines. The characters speak with Australian accents in local and international airings. The series has a focus on the Australian sense of humour with dry wit frequently expressed through the dialogue. Several episodes detail the exploration of Australia's climate and nature. The characters encounter Australian wildlife such as fruit bats, wallabies, kookaburras and ibises. Flora of Australia are also depicted in the series, including poinciana trees and jacaranda trees. Broom expressed that he didn't want to exaggerate the stereotypes of Australia. The series advocates the importance of play throughout childhood. Bluey and Bingo are the vehicle used to display this theme. The episode Trampoline features Bandit imploring Bluey to continue creating new games to play. The siblings engage in imaginative play during mundane activities such as visiting the doctor or going to the supermarket. The parents are shown to engage in the play with their children. Bluey and Bingo also engage in imaginative play with their friends, learning lessons such as the importance of following the rules. The characters also learn lessons such as the influence of technology, the economy and personal finance through their gameplay. Pearson has stated that the characters experience emotions such as jealousy and regret through their gameplay. He commented that, while there is no antagonist in the series, these emotions form the central conflicts of the program. The character of Jack is shown to have attention deficit issues. He states that he can't sit still or remember anything. Upon the online character announcement, parents praised the representation of children with attention deficit issues. Episodes. The first series premiered in Australia on ABC Kids on October 1, 2018, with 26 episodes airing daily throughout October. The following 25 episodes of the series began airing on April 1, 2019. The final episode of the first series, a Christmas special, aired on December 12, 2019. It was reported in March 2019 that production had begun on a second series of 52 episodes. The order was officially announced in May. The second series premiered on March 17, 2020, with the first 26 episodes airing daily, through April. The remaining episodes began airing on October 25, 2020, and were followed by a Christmas special which aired on December 1, 2020, and an Easter special airing on April 4, 2021. Preliminary discussions for the third series had begun by April 2020. The series order was made official in October. The third series began airing on September 5, 2021 with a Father's Day themed special, followed by further episodes from November 22, 2021. Release. Broadcast. In June 2019, the international broadcasting rights to Bluey were acquired by the Walt Disney Company, with plans to premiere on the Disney Junior Television Network and be distributed on the Disney Plus streaming service in all territories, excluding Australia, New Zealand and China, from late 2019. Note 6. The series premiered on Disney Junior in the United States on September 9, 2019, and was later distributed on Disney Plus on January 22, 2020 and in the United Kingdom on October 1, 2020. The series notably features the original voice actors while airing overseas, after producers were initially asked to replace the Australian accents of the characters. The second series debuted on Disney Channel in the United States on July 10, 2020. In October 2019, Bluey debuted in New Zealand, airing on TVNZ2 and streaming on TVNZ On Demand. The first series made its Australian pay TV premiere on CBeebies on May 4, 2020. It made its free-to-air television debut in the UK on CBeebies in April 2021. Home media releases. The series was first distributed on DVD in Australia by Universal Sony Pictures Home Entertainment and BBC Studios, with the first 2 volumes, entitled Magic Xylophone and Other Stories and Horsey Ride and Other Stories, released on October 30, 2019. They were followed by further volumes at later dates. In the United States, the first season was released on DVD in 2 volumes in early 2020. In the United Kingdom, the first volume will be released on DVD in October 2021. Reception. Critical reception. Bluey has enjoyed a positive critical reception. The series received a seal of approval from Common Sense Media, with reviewer Emily Ashby commending its positive family and social themes. Bluey was praised by Philippa Chandler of The Guardian for its sharp script and depiction of everyday family life, while commenting that its Queensland background set it apart from other cartoons on television. Readers of the New York Times' parenting blog submitted Bluey as their favorite children's show, describing it as charming, smart and very real. The series was called Laugh Out Loud Funny by Stephanie Convery of The Guardian, who credited its humor to the quirky behavior of the child characters. In 2019, TV Week listed Bluey at No. 98 in its list of the 101 greatest Australian television shows of all time. Despite only being on air since 2018, the magazine wrote that Bluey stole Australia's hearts faster than any other cartoon character in what it described as a cute, funny and modern series. The series was listed at No. 14 in Junkie's list of 50 television programs that define the decade, in which it was described as an absolute delight. In a list published by Rolling Stone of the top 100 sitcoms of all time, Bluey was listed at No. 96, being the only Australian series to be featured. The series received praise for its constructive parenting messages and depiction of Bandit Heeler as a positive father figure. The character was commended for his patient nature, willingness to do housework and play with his children. Jennifer McClellan of USA Today described Bandit as sarcastic, sympathetic and silly. He has been received as more emotionally intelligent than the father from Peppa Pig. Reporters for The Guardian wrote that the show's messages about parenting align with published literature on parental well-being, noting how the show depicts the importance of play and learning social skills in child development. McClellan acknowledged the family dynamic of the characters. She described Chili as the voice of reason and noted how Bluey and Bingo learn to navigate their sibling relationship. Convery commented that the sisters are accurate depictions of children, and that the roles of the parents are not presented as stereotypical of their respective genders. The series has also received online praise for its representation of attention deficit issues through the character of Jack. The website of the series was criticized for, in the character description of Chili, suggesting that her return to part-time work prevents her from being as involved a parent as other mothers. The description was later altered. A separate incident saw an apology issued by the ABC in August 2020 in relation to the usage of the term ooga booga in the episodes Teasing and Flat Pack, which was described as a term with racial connotations and a problematic history for Indigenous Australians through a viewer complaint. The ABC claimed that the term had only been intended as irreverent rhyming slang made up by children, and maintained their commitment to addressing discrimination. The 2 episodes were temporarily removed from rotations before being edited to remove the term, which prompted mixed reactions from viewers. Viewership. Bluey has received consistently high viewership on ABC Kids in Australia, becoming the most watched children's program across all channels on broadcast television in 2018 and 2019. The highest rating live broadcast of the program, the final episode of the second series, Easter, premiered on April 4, 2021 to 607,000 viewers. It was the most watched broadcast across all free-to-air multi-channels, and the 3rd most watched broadcast overall. In 2019, the series was the most watched program through time shifting. In March 2019, it was reported that Bluey had become the most downloaded program in the history of ABC's video-on-demand and catch-up TV service ABC iView, with 21.3 million total episode plays. Within 1 year of the show's premiere, this figure had risen to 152 million, and by May 2020, there had been 261 million plays of episodes from the first series. It was also reported that the second series had totaled 43 million episode plays by May. By May 2021, episodes from both series had generated over 480 million plays. Awards and nominations. Other media. Books. In April 2019, BBC Studios entered a partnership with Penguin Random House Australia with a deal to publish 3 Bluey books before the end of 2019. The Beach, Fruit Bat, and a sticker activity book entitled Time to Play were released on November 5, 2019. All 3 books were recognized as the highest-selling releases in the weekly Australian book charts of November 2019, and had sold a combined total of 350,000 copies by January 2020. The combined sales of the first 9 books reached 1 million in June 2020. In September 2020, the partnership with Penguin Random House was expanded to include global distribution rights, allowing the books to be released in the United States and the United Kingdom. Merchandise. Moose Toys was named as the global toy partner for Bluey in June 2019. The company announced that toys would be released in Australia by the end of 2019, and later in the United States. Plush character toys of Bluey and Bingo were released in November, and a character figurine set was released in December. The plush Bluey topped the Toys R Us release chart of Christmas 2019, while the demand for the plush Bingo exceeded the number of toys being supplied to stores. By December, over 100,000 plush character toys had been sold in Australia. The toy line was launched in the United States in June 2020. In January 2020, Bluey partnered with Bonds to release a clothing range for children, including pajamas and socks featuring character designs. A more comprehensive clothing range was made available at Australian retailers in March, including clothing, sleepwear and underwear. A range of adult pajamas were released in May 2020 through Peter Alexander stores, which became the fastest-selling collection in the retailer's history. Commemorative birth certificates featuring Bluey artwork were made available to Queensland residents from March. Bauer Media Group released the first issue of a monthly Bluey magazine in May. A lifestyle range of children's furniture was released in June 2020. Stage show. It was announced that a stage show based on Bluey was being developed in November 2019. The live stage show, titled Bluey's Big Play, will tour in 50 theaters around Australia and will feature the characters from the series. The tour was initially scheduled to begin in May 2020, but was delayed due to restrictions relating to the COVID-19 pandemic. After eased restrictions, 2 preview performances were held at the Canberra Theatre Centre in January 2021 before further shows across the country.